stop comparing yourself to the next woman. Enjoy your process.
Yes.
Stop comparing that sister friendship to ours, because we're not that.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of It's Giving. I am your host, Sarah Fontenot, and if you have not yet, make sure to click that button below and hit the bell so you get a notification with each piece of new content. Now, I have to tell you, I am so excited for today because we are joined with a queen, okay? I just mean in essence, in being, in servitude. On top of that, she is a serial entrepreneur, has businesses, has created so much opportunity for thousands and thousands and thousands of people to change their lives. She is an absolutely incredible human on top of all of that. And she's beautiful. Golly, can we please give it up for Miss Nathalie Nicole?
Hey, sis. It's your energy for me. I like this.
I mean, it's easy.
We're going on tour. I like this. That felt good.
I mean, it's the truth.
No, like, I honestly, Sarah, I would say this. God works in miraculous ways. And I'm not just saying this just to say it. You are consistent with your energy.
Thank you.
Like, no matter what's going on in your life, and even though we're not as close as God probably wants us to be, because we just click. That's what it is.
Yes.
But it's just interesting because you always have the same energy. And I can honestly say that about myself. I feel like I'm a type of person, I'm more introverted.
Yeah.
So I love that you're like, you know?
No, but sometimes I'm like, ooh. Like, it's
I love it.
Like,
like some days I want to be like that. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you guys?
Yeah.
I love it.
Razzle dazzle, kind of the dichotomy.
I love
real,
it.
You know?
No, it is real. And I feel like that, I don't want to get too deep now, but I feel like that's what's missing in the world. Like, be who you say you are and be consistent.
Yes.
Because if you show up as her and that's not you, then who are you?
Right.
You know?
We're missing something.
Right.
There's literally a piece missing on the planet when you're not yourself.
Exactly.
Girl, okay, so before we jump into today, because I know we're gonna go deep on a lot of different things. But I have to ask you, if this chapter of your life were called It's Giving blank, what would it be called? And you have to say it's giving.
It's giving freedom.
Ooh. What's that mean?
You know, like, life has been really interesting and amazing on so many different levels. I think that when you're a young girl, you think life is going to be this specific way. You're going to be successful. You're going to go to school. You're going to get married. You're going to have these kids. And it's going to go just like this, right? And I feel like God, when he created my life, he promised me that I would have heaven on earth, but he never told me how it was going to go.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying? So every time my life goes through these climates, it gets so exciting.
Yeah.
And there goes Nathalie that just says, let's knock out the climate change, you know? So these past several years, the weather has changed so many times. And I had to change and grow for the good. So freedom is being able to maneuver with the changes while being my authentic self, by living the life that God has chosen me to live without compromise.
Ooh, that part.
Without compromising. Like, I can have it all. We can have it all.
Period.
And that's freedom to me. I don't believe freedom is just having money or having a Lamborghini or having, like, I feel like I had to experience the things I've been through to get to this point right now.
Yes, I always say that. And it's funny because, you know, a lot of us, and I don't come from a lot, like my family, I come from a lot of love, but I don't come from
That's
privilege,
like mine,
right? And so for me, I always thought that money would solve all of my problems. And so I just needed to be successful and make this money. And now I realize what success actually means to me. And it's very similar in the sense of navigating through life is freedom. For me, success looks like when you're mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and energetically in a place where you're happy with yourself. And of course, there's always room for growth, but really understanding that monetary is just one portion of the puzzle, just one piece, because money doesn't buy us happiness, but it buys us choices. And I enjoy choices.
I enjoy that.
Makes me very happy. You know? The car I drive, the place I live, the places I go, the friends I have, the opportunities I get, you know?
The freedom.
Yes, that's definitely in there. But are you happy when you look in the mirror?
That's the part. And I feel like society has because of social media, I would say, because we gotta get a hold on this now.
Yes.
Because I think that there's so many people that have really waited all their life to get that breakthrough financially. And then once they have it, if the other parts of your life is not free, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, if you haven't dealt with that trauma, if you haven't really dealt with that self, if you don't know who you are and whose you are, then the money is just money.
Ooh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like, I feel like because in the place I'm in my life right now is like, I can have it all. I can have the money. I can have the friends. I can have the love. I can attract the things that God has for me. I don't have to compromise. And I'm not saying I don't want to have money, but I don't have to chase money.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? I was
attract it.
I think I told you this the other day, and I'm like, I will give it all up for my soul.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where freedom came to surface for me.
Yes.
I didn't realize that I was not free. Anytime you're feeling anxiety every day, you're stressed out, you're getting headaches, you don't feel good about yourself, like you're waiting for people's acceptance so you can be able to show up. You're dimming your light. That's not free.
Yeah.
So there's so many elements of freedom to me.
Yes. And I love that. I always say, like, I'm incorruptible. And some might call it rigid, some might, whatever they want to call it. I don't care. I'm not doing anything that's out of alignment with who I am in that moment. Now, I understand that who we are is always changing. It's always evolving. And so what I used to say no to before, I might say yes to. Or what I used to say yes to before, I might say no to. I understand that. But there is nothing that is going to make me do something that I don't want to do. Now, if I make the decision to do it, it needs to be in integrity with me. And sometimes as a people always say, Cancerians, my birthday's in July, they're like, we hold on to things really long. And I have experienced that. You know, you said something about friendships, and one of the things, or even any kind of relationship that I've realized is, oftentimes the only thing that kind of has me tripped up and I hold on longer, like I'm like, no, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make it good. I'm going to give everything. Like Jim Rohn says, I'll make you successful if it kills me. And I almost died. Right. So it's literally like that thing. Have you experienced inside of your journey of becoming this new, empowered, beautiful woman? Have you also experienced the downside of losing really like massively important relationships to you?
Yeah, I'm still going through it now. I feel like that's gonna forever be a part of the process, right? It's like a shedding that has to happen, but you have to allow it to happen, right? Because God said all things new.
Yeah.
And when all things are new, you have to allow things to be new.
Yeah.
And if you keep holding on to the old that no longer serves your life, you will go into this cycle of experiencing the same traumas, the same disappointments over and over again from the same people.
Yeah.
So it came in my life. The interesting part is I'm a lover girl. Most people don't know that. I love love.
Yes,
but I love love, right?
Yes.
So the enemy knows, and we don't give him any honor, any credit, any type of glory, but the enemy knows how to attack my heart and my mind, right? Because sometimes my heart will overpower my mind. And I will love so hard, whether it's friendships with women or men, like I will love so hard.
Yeah.
Where thank God it wasn't the death of me, but it'll be the mute of me. Where to the point where I will, so you said a couple of things I want to touch on, because I wasn't always the girl that stood up for myself, contrary to most people's belief. Yes, I look like I was that girl, but I love peace. I'm very non-confrontational, and when I have to get confrontational, it makes me sad. So me dealing with that emotional state of like standing up for myself, but also allowing things to happen. I had to go through therapy most recently.
I'm still in therapy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of getting in my word again. Like I asked God, I said, God, I know you didn't put me on this earth to be lonely. As far as like, I deserve friendships. I deserve healthy friendships. I deserve non-transactional friendships. I deserve transactional friendships that are pure. I deserve to meet somebody, if we have synergy, that we should be able to create together, right?
Yes.
I don't feel like I should be the girl that says, I can't do business with you because we're friends because of past trauma.
Right.
So when it comes down to friendships, I have been attacked on friendships for like the past like probably 5 years. But these have been the most successful years of my life. But I know that I am deserving of healthy friendships.
Yes.
And I'm deserving of love. And I'm deserving to be my authentic self in those relationships. So it to the point where I want to say my heart is broken right now, but it was breaking my heart. Like, people don't think that hurts me. I might not use social media to vocalize I lost a friend or, I'm hurting right now. But I say, hey, God, make me whole in this season.
Yes.
Whatever the reason behind this, I don't want to down anybody, but you know why this is happening.
Oh,
I know what I feel and I know what is true.
Yeah.
And I know, God, I deserve more. And I know that whatever I did to get to this place, I take full accountability. I surrender to you. I surrender my friendships to you. And if it's supposed to happen, fix it. Because I used to be the girl that will entertain the long texts and the sit downs. And then it's like, why are we here again? Like, we're doing this way too many times and I'm cool. Like, I want to be happy.
Yes.
I really and I know you can probably feel this from people say, well, you're just different now. I am. Like, I'm just free.
Yes.
And I trust God.
Yes.
I do believe in adult friendships. I believe in new friendships. I believe in doing it organically and allowing God to be in the center of it. If we keep God in the center of our relationships, literally everything will work itself out.
Yes. And I feel like two things are coming up for me with what you're saying. Number one, I think that's why it's so important to get connected to source, right? I think it's so important to have a clear idea of who you are and what it is that you're after and to move in integrity with that person, because when or if friendships end, or when or if you get into a tiff or an argument or whatever it may be, that you did your best.
Right.
And honestly, sometimes because we're human, our best might be subpar. Our
Yeah.
best might be absolute trash, but
Yeah.
it was all that I had to give. And if inside of all that I had to give, we couldn't work it out, we couldn't work it out. But I know one thing about me, and it's like you were saying, like, I know that I'm worthy of great friendship because I'm a great friend.
Yeah.
I stand up for my friends. I stand up for myself. And it takes me a while to say something. So I'll take, because people throw stones. They'll throw stones. Oh, Sarah, and maybe you guys at home have had that experience where people try to tear you down because you're confident or you genuinely love yourself. And so it's like a test to see, like, does she really love herself? Does she really act this way? Does she? No, this is really who I am. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry for you, but that has nothing to do with me. And so number one, I think it is really important to have that self-awareness. And number two, it's so important to move in integrity, because then you won't wrong yourself, shame yourself, guilt yourself for how things happened, if or when they go great or if or when they go bad. Because sometimes the result is great for that person, but it's terrible for your spirit.
Yeah, but I love that. And I think to add on to it, people don't talk enough about friendship breakups.
At all.
And I think that relations with the other sex is more celebrated. Like, okay, yeah, girl, you moved on. Yeah, you, whatever, like you can do better. But there's still a hurt that still, it subsides, right?
Yeah.
So I do believe as we grow as spirit beings, you have to be aware of what you're feeling.
Yes.
And you have to say, hey, you know what? My heart hurts a little bit.
Yes.
And
that's okay.
And I think that's where the communication comes in with yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like the same way. Well, first, let's go back a little bit. Most of the times, relationships do not evolve because of lack of communication.
Woo!
And respect.
I have to pause you right there because I was looking up information about friendships, right? This is literally exactly why do friendships fall apart? One of the highest reasons why a friendship might suddenly end, it's because change in expectation, conflicts, or the lack or ability to communicate with arguments. The other one said, the most common reason isn't tension. It's just that friendships fizzle out. Both experts say friends move on, get a new job, start a family, and may just gradually stop talking to each other. One study found we lose about half of our friends every 7 years.
Wow. Woo! But it's interesting because I feel like that part is what is not talked about. So let me give you a backstory. It's like, I know, I was in the Brownies and the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver, but the other's gold.
Yeah.
Like, so you're holding on to things that have already fizzled out, right?
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? You don't gotta hate each other.
Yes.
It's like, let's do our well wishes and be great, right? Just like any past relationships I have. Like, we don't hate each other. Enjoy your life. Mm-hmm. I want the best for you. I have exes that got married. Like, great. do your big one, you know? That's freedom.
Yes.
So that's where I'm at right now. It's like, I just genuinely desire to be happy. In this season, I'm actually feeling happy again.
Yeah.
Like I'm having fun.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, well, where have you been all my life? You know? So I just feel like in this season, God had to isolate me to really get me to understand how to be a friend with him first. Like, how do I treat Jesus? You know, like how do I give him time? Do I communicate with him? Am I just asking him for stuff? Is there reciprocation? You know, so I'm working on my reciprocation with my spirituality, not just an Instagram thing. I'm talking about this morning I was in worship and I'm like, God, thank you. I said, there's a lot going on in my life right now, but I thank you.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And like when you go back to your camera roll, I never did this until this season. You know, you look at social media or you see things that go viral, like this is when I was crying.
Yeah.
Like, and I never used to do that, but I've been through so much pain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me record how I'm feeling. So I start recording like just my feelings. And I'm like, oh my God, you have gone through some things, Nathalie. And it's okay.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying, Sarah?
Absolutely.
And I think that sometimes social media, whether it's your podcast or you being a host, you're put on this pedestal like you're perfect. And I'm sure I've done some things in my life that were wrong. But that's why he died on the cross for my sins.
Right.
Not for people to judge me or to put me in a box where I can't get out of that hole.
Right.
So in the season I'm in right now, I'm looking to find that harmony in business and friendship and love and just fun and financial freedom and just being able to get to that place. And I'm not there yet, but I will. It's a journey and I will get there.
It's a forever thing.
Yeah.
And even when you get there, you're already going to be thinking about what's
next.
So it's the next
And I
level
love
of
that for
evolution.
us.
Yes.
I never want to just arrive. I want to keep on growing. And I love growth.
Yes.
And that's what I'm after.
Yes. I knew this conversation was going to be such a rich conversation.
Yeah.
Because number one, I know that you are a wealth of knowledge and a true person in action. I feel like it's one thing, you know, you have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. And so it is a thing where people might put you on a pedestal like, wow, like I wish that I could, not understanding the work that has to go into that. You know, the work of, and the stones that come with it. I don't think that people also understand the journey of choosing to take the high road instead of the low, of choosing to evolve when you really don't want to, like, to be completely honest. I have to ask you though, because you said something and I was like, maybe I'm still petty. You know, I'm just going to keep it real. For me, like, and I love this for you, that when you have fallouts, obviously, yes, we wish people the best, but if you saw that person in real life, in public, if you saw them on the same street as you, would you cross the street and not speak, or would you still speak?
So in this season, I will speak. And the past, Nathalie, of course, like I have gone through some things.
Yes,
things I'm not the proudest of, like just with women. Is like, okay, let's go back a little bit. I went to Howard University. I worked in the club. I had my salon. A lot went on in that season. Then, you know, my ex-boyfriend I was with for like a lot of years. A lot of women came along with it, right? So I've always dealt with like things, right? But when I decided to change my life, I literally surrendered my old ways. And my old ways were petty, right? So the attack that I always get is activate my petty. That's the attack I know. But because of the grace and the joy and just the things that God he continues to bless me. So I say, you know what? I got to do better. So the season I'm in right now, I saw somebody that actually, I remember she doesn't like me. I don't know why, but it is what it is. You know how that goes.
You don't like us, you're a hater, okay? I just,
like, because here's the deal, like, why not?
Why not? That is what did we do?
So
they can't even name it.
So here's the deal. There are things I have done.
Okay.
But guess what? Your man has done you dirty too.
Ooh.
So the same way how you give your man grace, you give your sister Christ grace, right? And move on. Move on. Because here's the deal. Your man did you real dirty.
Ooh.
Because that has happened to me. And I had to tell myself, Nathalie, the same way how you've probably given your ex-boyfriend grace or a guy you're dating grace, you have to give people grace and you have to give them to God.
Yes.
And that's my thing now. It's like, I give you to God. You know, this is beyond me. And if I see anybody, and I have situations now that it is what it is. We fizzled out. It is what it is. It hurts to know. I think you more so miss what you had,
Yes.
not where you are.
Yes.
So what do? Are you gonna act nasty? Are you gonna be condescending? Are you gonna throw punches on Instagram? No, because I deserve what God has for me.
Yeah.
And if I don't know how to handle my right now, He's not gonna give me my what's next. So I have to be very careful how I move right now and ask God to keep on purifying my heart. There are moments where I might see a meme on Instagram and I want to repost it, but I know that is not what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
And people think I'm just like this. Sometimes they're like, well, you really are like growing. I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
Right. And I love this for where I'm going because I'm not going to ask my friends to be accountable to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm asking God to help me be accountable.
Yeah.
I don't want to go, when you go low, I will go high.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. I'm not there yet.
No, you don't. But here's the deal. Let me give you an example.
I'm semi there.
I went through some things there where there are people that were we talking about friends. We talking about you're at my house. You know, my ex-boyfriend, my man is in the house. You know, girls don't do this type of stuff. We're going on trips together. We're doing these different things, and we're making money together. I had to ask myself, instead of me blaming that person on why you don't rock with me, where did I go wrong? And it went back to boundaries. It went back to lack of communication. It went back to when you did feel something that was changing, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you talk? Why wait till something is like at this end to just have a blowout, right? So that's where I'm at in my life. Is like, okay, Nathalie, what role did you play? Because I think that unknown of why this happened can haunt you to the point where you go to sleep crying, to the point where you wake up crying, to the point where you can't trust another woman. And I refuse to live my life where I meet a Sarah or I meet this person. I think everyone has this thing with them. That's not true.
Yeah, I don't think that at all.
Yeah, no, but you don't think that because you're living a different frequency. But God wants to bless you with pure friendships. So until we fully, and I know it takes time, but here's the deal. I'm still in a situation right now where I'm still working. And it's still something that's like hurting still, right? But here's the deal. I trust God with this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm going to fix it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of fixing things.
Period.
I don't have it in me.
At all.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. And I just had this conversation because I'm actually coming out of a season of what I thought something was what it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not talking about it romantically, platonically. I thought something was what it wasn't.
Okay.
And the way that I show up inside of friendship, I'm not a perfect person. I absolutely make mistakes.
Yeah.
But overall, I feel really strong in saying I am a great friend.
Exactly.
I am a great friend. I'm not even going to get into it, but this is the thing for me. Now I got to a place where whenever the long text messages come, I literally say, I don't have it, I haven't had it, and I won't muster it. Whatever helps you sleep better at night. And I feel really content and really okay and really honored by myself saying, whatever you, because this person, not even this person, people will play the victim when they were the villain. And it's almost like this gaslighting. And by gaslighting, for those of you that are listening or watching, a lot of times we hear about narcissism and gaslighting inside of romantic relationships. Well, for a lot of us, it's happening inside of our platonic relationships, where people are like, oh, well, even a text message was literally something like, oh, I tried to tell this person, they told me you weren't any good, and I defended you, but maybe I was wrong. Whatever helps you sleep better at night. What I'm here to tell you is, for me, if I see certain people, and not in a way where I don't wish you well, because I wish everybody well. And the second that you start to get to an energy where you don't wish people well, you attract that lower vibration. So I'm not saying that. I wish everyone well, and I really hope people sleep well at night. But what I do know is my energy and my light is reserved for pure friendships and pure relationships. And if you cannot reciprocate that, I don't want you around. So if I saw you, I might, hey, and then I'm
Yeah, is
beelining
that-
across the street. But there's no way.
Oh yeah, we
I'm-
don't have to go do a sit
yeah,
down.
no, I'm not having a conversation because I'm not interested in the energy that I know is gonna. It's like a dirty energy. I don't want it. I'm not interested in it. I can't do it. I can't. I won't do it. I can't do it, and I won't muster it. Like I just don't have it in me because that feels inauthentic to me.
Yeah.
So it's literally like I will look through a person, and it's not even a sense of like you did anything wrong or there's any malice, but you're a ghost to me now. I can see straight through you. You no longer exist. And if it comes back in a space where it's like, we work it out, then we do. But if in the season where we're not, we are not. And I'm perfectly okay with it because it goes back to integrity with self. I know if you had the opportunity to have me as a friend and you fumbled it because of insecurity or trauma or whatever it is, look, people might crucify me for even saying that, but it is the truth.
Well, you said something that's really good, the trauma part. So, because there's a part that you said, like, so two things. What I had to say to myself,
girl,
because I'm going back, I'm in this self thing right now, right?
Yes.
I love myself. I care for myself. I forgive myself.
Yes.
Right? And because I do these things, even if a text message comes through my phone, because I don't do those text, I don't send long text messages, so I don't deserve that, right? So if you go back to these, or even text messages are nasty or whatever it is, there's a role that I played to attract that.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened way before this text message happened. So I had to tell myself, because I always try to figure out, like, where did this begin? And I realized that I have played a very dangerous role in, like, relationships where, because I have not nipped it in the bud or said, hey, this isn't right, or this doesn't feel good, or you're hurting my feelings. Like, saying you're hurting my feelings is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
To say, hey, this isn't right is very vulnerable. Like, example, if someone is not cool with you, like, how does that involve me? So things like that has happened in my life for so many years, and enough is enough, because I want to be a friend like how God wants me to be a friend. And that's where I'm taking responsibility at right now in my life.
Yeah.
I believe that, especially in business, like, if someone doesn't like this person, now I don't like them. I'm like, well, why don't I like you? Like, you did nothing to me. So where did this happen at? So I had to say to myself, Nathalie, you are the problem too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Since this is like really where I'm at right now, Sarah, and a therapist couldn't really help me with that. It was me looking in the mirror and I'm like, okay, if 8 people say the same thing about you, Nathalie, right? There has to be some type of truth in that.
Yeah.
So what I realize is, hey, the 8 people said this because I didn't stand up for myself in friendship. So even if that person was your friend and they made you look a certain way, or let's say when whoever it was saying, well, maybe that person was right. Well, you shouldn't even have that conversation with that person. So now there's a character flaw, because you can come back to me and say, he say, she say, this, whatever it is. Now my question is, how many other conversations do you have? And now those other people are looking at me crazy because I'm friends with you.
Right.
So I think that's where I'm at right now. And I know, like, me and God, we had this really serious conversation. I know I'm being called for women.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, even when you came to my event and, like, you popped in and hosted that day because the person was late, it's like, I know, or the person didn't show up. Like, I know that my calling here on this earth has been designed to be a living testimony for women.
Period.
I know that.
Period.
So the enemy is always going to attack the thing that God has gifted me. And that's how sensitive it is for me right now. It can bring me tears sometimes. And I was like, well, why are you crying all the time? Because I know when the gift keeps getting attacked, I got to keep fighting, because it's so much easier to walk away. It's so much easier to say, I'm not doing women, I'm not doing this, but that's of the enemy. I don't do women empowerment. No, that's of the enemy.
Yes.
We need each other. We need sisters.
Yeah.
We need these platonic relations that, like, we should be able to count on another woman without the being scared of her talking about us, or I should be able to call you and say, sis, I'm just like a little stressed right now.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
About you bringing it up. And
another conversation.
you
to
get what I'm
someone
saying?
else. Yes.
So it's like, I just think I haven't been safe in so long.
Yeah.
And it's like, I asked myself, well, where did this begin? And I said, okay, it began because you haven't really walked in your authentic truth in so long.
Mm.
Because even if somebody is talking about somebody and you're not even partaking in it, you had no right listening.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's time for you to be that friend
Mm-hmm.
that you've been praying for.
Yeah. It's so good. And I feel like a part of me probably feels a little bit hard because I am really standing strong on my boundary as far as
Stand on
like
it.
how friendships go. And I realize inside of, you know, even it's crazy because I did another podcast not too long ago and we talked about friendship breakups, right? And in my first response inside of that podcast episode, the question was, have you ever had a serious friendship breakup? And initially I was like, no, I've had the same tribe for almost 10 years. You know what I mean? Like almost I have all of the same friends. I don't really have any new friends. You know, the shortest person I've known is probably 3 or 4 years. And this is the most incredible, oh, actually no, newest one is 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, I rarely open up the friend circle. Like friend to me is like my tribe. Like I could trust you with my life. Like I would take a bullet for you, not die, but like a straight through. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would take a bullet for my friends.
You saw my face. I said,
I'm not gonna. I probably would not die for like my mom. My sister.
Yeah.
There's very few people I could honestly say, knowingly, consciously, that I would die for. Maybe subconsciously I would die for others, but like
we speak life, Lord.
yeah, girl, yeah, no. So it's crazy because I had forgot that I had a friend breakup.
Yeah.
And this is a person that had been in my life for years. And what I had experienced was over the last couple of years of our friendship, our lives became very, very, very different. I was, you know, elevating and succeeding, and she was really going through a lot of things.
Yeah.
So much so that it actually put her into survival mode.
Yeah.
And when you're in survival mode, and she's a beautiful person, let me be clear, I don't have any bad blood. I wish the absolute utmost best for her. I want her to have all the things that she deserves. Like I love this person. And I also recognize that her and I in this season are not in alignment. And
that part.
And some crazy things happened that were really like, damn, I know this isn't you. This is survival. This is trauma because the person that I know would never do half of these things that happened. But I know I understand the season. And so I love you enough to let you go. But I forgot. And what tripped me up is I literally, after that episode, I talked to my therapist and I was like, how did I forget about a whole human that was actually a dominant relationship in my life? Like I forgot about
It was
her.
self-preservation, though.
Exactly what my therapist
It was self-preservation.
said. That is exactly, he's like, you haven't taken the time to grieve the loss.
No, it's self-preservation. So that's my life.
Yes.
I have been self-preserving for so long now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there was back-to-back relationships. There was back-to-back relationships that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you haven't even like addressed how you feel.
Yeah.
So this most recently, back to what you said, I still love you.
Yeah.
But I can't be with you.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like, it's actually a very invigorating feeling to get into because the unknown is where the enemy gets your mind.
Yes.
But when you say, you know, I know God.
Yeah.
And I know that he is not the author of confusion. And I know that he is not going to put me on this earth to be lonely. And I know I'm a good friend. I know I'm a good person.
Yes.
I know I love women. And I know that I am that girl, not the girl that the world says. I'm talking about I'm that girl where I know if you need me, I'm going to be there. I am that person. So hearing you say this is like, wow, like it's refreshing because it happens to the best of us.
Yes.
And it's okay.
And it's sad. And I literally had to take the time to sit and be like, I really like soul sister goddess tribe. Like that, those are my friends. Like my friends are inside of my soul sister goddess tribe. There are expectations, there are rules, there are guidelines inside of, girl, there's a standard to be inside of soul sister goddess tribe. Everybody else, I'm like, hey friend, like, you know, like I'm friendly, I'm kind, you know. But soul sister, I lost a soul sister goddess out of my time. Girl. And I was like, how? But what's crazy is my therapist said, you know, self-preservation is like putting things in the freezer.
Oh,
you
God.
can't deal with it right now.
This is a youth park.
You got to put it somewhere. And then so we started deep diving into like, what else is in this freezer? Because I forgot about a human. It was mind blowing to me, Natalie. When I tell you, I was like, how in the world, how did this happen? But I would say that really for me, and this is another thing that I can say, losing friends, all of my soul sister goddess tribes, if I were to ever lose them, which I can't imagine losing them for life, maybe a season, like or seasons, but I can't imagine them forever being out of my life. If that were to happen, I absolutely wish them the best. Now, other people that I have kind of shortly indoctrinated because I thought that they were at the standard of Soul Sister Goddess Tribe, and I found out that they were not.
I can't get past the day.
Soul Sister Goddess Tribe. Look, y'all know who you are. I love you guys so much. There's 8 of them. I have 8.
Wow.
I have 8 solid female friendships. But what I've noticed is I get harder with people that are new. If you burn me, and I talk to you about it. One, I don't have a problem with confrontation at all. Actually, I believe in the way that I have conversations. I sandwich everything. So I'll start with some way that I love you, something that I love about you, or something that I love about you.
Sarah's hilarious.
I've learned it's like speaking Spanish. Okay, like if I learn to speak Spanish, I learn to critique in a way where I don't want to hurt you. So this is what I do. I sandwich it, Natalie. I say something that is great about what you're doing. Then I tell you how I feel about something, or something that you did made me feel a way, or I'll ask you a question. It was like, what is the intention? And then I sandwich it with, but no matter what, like we're here and I love where we're going and I love what we're building. And like, we got us at the end of the day. It is a communicative standard at this point for me.
Yeah.
And some people hate it. Most people know when it's happening. They just know that that's me. I'm not just going to be like, girl, you did this. And I don't really communicate that way just because it's like, I learned a different language. Right. But what I've learned is, when that happens, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you what's happening in the inner workings of my mind, because I'm probably overly communicative because I want things to work. Yeah. If it keeps happening and you're new, you got to go. And there ain't no way
it's new
you will ever have access like you had access before. Right. Have you ever had to dead access?
So that's like dating a guy, right? Yeah. And like, you like him, you're so excited about him. You're like, oh my God, my man, all that stuff, right? And you're so excited about it, right? Yes. But you're realizing that, hey, there's some behavior that isn't okay, right? Yeah. So that just that's relationships. Yeah. So it doesn't mean I hate you, but we can't be. Yeah. So when it comes down to women, even especially in this season, especially because in my lane of business, I deal with so many women, I had to learn boundaries. And the boundaries are getting pretty cool now, because now let's say someone says, hey, let's go to dinner. I'm probably not going to go to dinner. So let me tell you why. If we don't have like anything like that we can relate on outside of the work that we do, we don't have to go to dinner, right? Let's go to a more like platonic environment, a freer environment. Hey, come meet me here. Hey, meet me at the gym. Hey, do this. So we can kind of build on that level. So now I have different levels on how I build. Yes. And that just keeps me safe, right? And then as far as the cutoff, yes. So I love myself. Like one of the best compliments I can get right now is like, Nathalie, you've been doing some work. Yeah, absolutely. It's deeper than physical. Yes. I've been working on my mind, my body, my soul. Yes. This is serious business right now. I deserve the very best. And I only deserve the very best now because I have been treating myself the very best. Yes. So now, if you are there and you are here to destroy anything that I've been building, I'm giving you the God. Yeah. And I'm done. Yes. And it's that simple. It's not like, oh, let me call and sob. It's more like, hey, you know what you did. You know and that's the newer thing. So the newer relationship. So even when it comes down to business and money and stuff like that, and I just had to talk with my dad today. And my mom and dad they're very close to me because they get to see all the avenues of Nathalie's turn. Yes. Right? You know how it is. I do, because I'm the same way. Right, because they're like, well, what about this person? Yeah. And they're like, oh, I saw their social media and I was thinking this. I'm like, don't do that, right? But the reality is, it's good to have good voices in your life. Absolutely. Where you can share before you do the cutoff too. Because I usually say, Mom, well, this happened. What do you think about this? And she's like, well, let's pray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then she'll come back and say, she wouldn't talk about anybody, but she'll literally, I don't know what the prayer she does, but the prayer will give me the clarity. And I'm like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
So touching and agreeing has really been working for me because, again, I've suffered from the people-pleasing spirit for so long, and I'm free from that now because now I'm just saying, hey, no, I don't like this. No, I don't want to do that.
Yes.
Hey, Nathalie, can you do this? No, I don't really want to do that.
And it creates a higher level of respect for you.
Yeah.
Because people now will fall in line.
Yeah.
And I think that people, boundaries are not only to keep me safe, they're also to keep you safe.
Very safe.
It works in all directions. And so how did you get to a space where you felt okay? Because a lot of people do struggle with setting boundaries. And let me say this. I heard someone say this on a podcast. They said, boundaries are not the things that you keep saying. They are the actions that you move in alignment with. So if you get into an argument with someone and they keep yelling at you and yelling at you and yelling at you, eventually, if you're like, my boundary is for you not to raise your voice. Don't raise your voice at me. I'm not going to keep doing. That's not a boundary because you're still there. The boundary comes from the first time it happens. Okay, I really don't appreciate you yelling at me. If you yell at me again, I'm going to leave the room because I can't even effectively hear you when you're yelling.
Can't hear anything.
It's all just, it's so loud. I have no idea, right? And so when the second time that it happens, I've expressed my boundary to you. I'm walking away. Like, I'm done with this conversation until you can come down. And that's romantically, platonically. And then you walk away.
Yeah.
So you don't enforce your boundaries by saying, this is my boundary.
Yeah.
You enforce your boundary by acting in alignment with what you've said.
Yeah.
How did you get to a space having, you said the people-pleasing spirit. How did you get to a space where you were able to not care about, because that's the thing, right? Well, people are going to think, or maybe they'll say, or they're going to judge, or maybe they'll think I'm this. That's what happens inside of the people-pleasing spirit. Mm-hmm. How did you release that?
So a couple things. I'm very in tune with my emotions right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so, it's actually like, it scared me a little bit because I thought I was such a lover.
Yeah.
But no, my therapist said, you're a people pleaser. And I'm like, me? A people pleaser?
Girl.
Not me.
Yeah.
Right? And then when I look back at just my spirit of like how I was moving, just because you say yes to people doesn't mean that was the right thing to do. And I will no longer do what's easy. I will do what's right.
Period.
And that's it. I no longer will do what's easy. I will do what's right.
Yes.
Pushing things under the rug, sweeping things under the rug is what's easy.
Yes.
Doing what's right is standing up for yourself.
Period.
Doing what's right is saying, you know what? That didn't really make me feel great. I'm gonna take a moment and I'm gonna reflect on how this made me feel. And if this emotion, if I get clarity on this emotion, I'm gonna stand on that, right? And then what I also do is I get people the opportunity, whether it's a business relationship, a friendship, romantic, for you to show me through your actions who you are. I no longer will believe what you say.
Yes.
I will only allow my perception of our relationship and where we are. I'll really, whatever you say, it's not that I'm not gonna believe you, but I'm watching your actions.
Yes.
So I used to be the girl that will allow you to say so many things to me. Okay. Funny story. My ex-boyfriend, like when I was in college in the streets, right? This man can talk a good one. Okay. His actions did not align with his words. So I no longer entertain that type of guy. But in that season of my life for years, I found myself being in this whirlwind because he can talk a good one. So now I realize people talk too much. I no longer, like, you just talk too much. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear anything you're saying. I want to feel what you're saying through your actions.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Like that saying, shh.
Like, I don't want to hear it anymore. And I've just got, so what happened with me?
Yeah.
I stopped speaking.
Yeah. Oh. And
so I no
his
longer
actions.
am going to keep doing this. If I say I love you, you'll feel it.
Yes.
If I say I'm going to do the work, I'm going to do the work.
Yes.
I'm no longer going to keep persuading myself or you that I'm anybody else outside of who I am.
Yeah.
So that's really what helped me. It was like, I just realized, like, hey, Nat, you're the problem in a lot of these situations. And you deserve to get free. Free yourself and then now free everybody else.
That just has to land. We just need a moment of silence. Free yourself, and then you free everybody else.
Free everybody else. Because guess what, sis? Where did it say I'm stuck with you? Like, I don't have to live like this.
No, it's a choice.
I remember, listen, when I was younger, you know you're young, you be dealing with dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you'll never find nobody better than me. I won't. Look at me now. But I just say, I'm not married yet, but right. I just know that when you have boundaries, you attract what you deserve.
Yes.
So I just feel like we're in a season where we need accountability.
Yes.
We need sisterhood.
Yes.
And even if they're not your soul sisters, I feel like having God-sent women that just come with no expectation.
Yes.
That you guys can still grow and do things together, but it's not on no like, I hate you or I'm talking bad about you.
Yeah.
You know?
One of the things that I say all the time is, do you have power over your proximity, or does your proximity have power over you?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, girl, there's so often where people, they go to work so much that they see the same people, that they start to build the relationship. And because I see you so often, I start to feel comfortable. And now you become my best friend, but you never really should have been my best friend. You should have been the person that I saw at work. But instead, I've made you my best friend. So I start telling you things that I shouldn't tell you. I start doing things that I shouldn't really do because I see you enough every single day. And now this person goes out and tells all your business. And then I have the audacity to get mad at this person. But the truth is, this person is just being who they really are. And if you would have qualified them first, because we don't necessarily qualify people enough. Everybody's not qualified to be your friend, and vice versa. I'm not qualified to be everybody's friend, and everybody is not qualified to be my friend, because we all experience, need, and want love in different ways, which is why it is so important to have alignment with the people in your life. Deep sigh. It's so important.
I had a vision just now.
Oh, tell me.
I had a vision. And I had a vision that, like, we're going to do an event together.
Okay.
And really it's giving for every woman. It's giving for every woman. Like, I need every woman to come in front of us, whether it's an online event or as a physical event. This conversation has to be had.
Yes.
Why? There's so many different levels that we don't attack, even in business. Like, stop comparing yourself to the next woman. Enjoy your process.
Yes.
Stop comparing that sister friendship to ours, because we're not that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what I realized, and I literally just had this epiphany, I was like, oh, wow, she has said something, because I feel like just because something looks good doesn't mean it is good.
At all.
You get what I'm saying? And I feel like we have to do a better job. And I was listening to something today. It's like the same way how Oprah Winfrey, she has these platforms, she's able to, reach these different people all across the world because she's Oprah Winfrey. The podcast world and the social media world has given us the ability to renew these spirits by being used by God.
Yes.
It's not us renewing them. It's God using us to share, hey, even though you were broken, even though you were hurt, there are a bunch of people on this planet, 8 billion people on the planet, I say this all the time, that actually like you. Somebody likes you out there. Someone's going to love you out there, and you don't have to settle.
And you don't have to beg.
No.
At all.
No. Like, girl.
You don't have to feel like you're less than who you are. You don't have to feel like you can't shine. You don't have to dim your light.
For nothing.
When you are around the right women, let me tell you, I believe in the kinds of friendships. Like, I'm the kind of friend, you can wear my clothes out the closet. And I'm like, tag still on it. I don't care. If you were to be in a space where you have an opportunity, but you didn't have something.
Yeah.
You need a clip-in, you need a wig, you need some shoes, you need a prayer, you need a journal. What are we doing? We're going to sit here and talk about, where do we go from here? We're going to sit here and talk about what is going to help us to add value inside of the marketplace. And if it's not things where we're evolving, period. Yeah. I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
If it's not about evolution, I'm just not interested.
And you know what's so interesting is that, think about it. When you're in your mother's womb, God already knew the plans. He already knew what women were going to come serve your life. God already knows who our husband's going to be.
But I could cry because now I just had a vision. Go ahead.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and no, you literally just get, I needed this today because I'm like, God, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And like, you don't even know. Don't make me cry.
We need Q-tips.
Don't do this. No, we almost was good.
Oh, it's about to fall. Oh my God.
We was really good. Okay.
So much here.
Ooh.
Q-tip.
Please just
Get in the eye. Oh my God. Both of us.
This is too much. Because here's the deal, like,
Real women cry.
right? Because here's the deal, like, when I go back in the season of my life, I no longer will disrupt God's plans for my life.
Yeah.
Just because a sister or a person looks good, I no longer will disrupt God's plans for my life. Because when we were in our mother's womb, God knew who we were and who we were going to become. And we don't have to change our form to fit in. You can be who you are.
Yeah.
When I first met you, you was giving already. Really. That's what you were interviewing me, and I'm like, she's giving. That's what it is. And I was already fighting a depression when I was on your panel.
Ooh.
So it was refreshing to hear a conversation like yours. So you just literally just took me to another place. I'm talking about, I've been having a lot of vision sitting here. And I'm like, God, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for renewing my heart, Lord. Thank you for allowing me to know that it's going to be okay.
Yes.
You know?
I receive it and I'm in agreement.
And I didn't even know we were going to talk about
I said,
today.
yes, girl. Oh my gosh. I needed this today. You have it like, oh man, it just feels good. And this is the thing, guys, if you're listening at home or you're watching, it's so important to get around like-minded people because you have these moments. And it's literally this morning, it's when you were saying like, oh, I was having my time with God this morning. I was in my bathroom by myself crying, and listening to gospel music, singing at the top of my lungs. When my team gets to the set, the music is bumping loud.
Yeah.
Even so, I'm like, okay, I can't cry now. I got to keep it together.
Right.
But literally, it's really and truly so important to get around like-minded people, not just with like who you are, but whose you are.
Yeah.
And the vision over your life.
Yeah.
And so I have to ask you because, we got to shift gears a little bit here, but I'm so curious. Like, it's one thing to have friendship breakups and it's another thing to have a romantic breakup.
Yeah.
You are single as in you're not married.
Yeah. I'm just like, so I'm not married. Yeah.
So single till you're married.
Yeah.
But how has dating been for you? Being an empowered, beautiful, successful Black woman, how has that been for you?
Like I'm not a good dater. Contrary to, again, most of belief.
We're lover girls.
I'm a lover girl, and like if I date you, we're dating.
Like we go together.
Right, we go together now.
You mine, and I'm yours. Like we
my man. So I'm in a space where I'm just like, God, like I want to be married and I want to be a mom one day. And I don't want to keep disrupting your plan with my fleshly desires of just wanting to be a lover girl. Like I want what you want from me. So that's where I'm at right now because I'm a great girlfriend, but I'm going to be a better wife.
Ooh. Let that land.
Oh. Listen, sis, I'm telling you, like, practice makes perfect.
Yes.
And I don't regret anything in my life. Yeah. I feel like when we're married.
Yes.
Like that's what it's giving.
Yeah.
So I feel like the preservation that God has been doing in my life, our life, just the fact that I don't have kids yet.
Yes.
I'm happy for myself.
Yes.
Like I think
Me
that
too.
I have I have a few people that I will meet and I'm like, well, you need to have kids. And now I'm like, who said that?
Right. And it's easy to have kids. It's also easy to get married.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge to be patient enough to wait for the person that is for you.
So that's the part.
Yes.
It's easy to have children.
Yes.
And it's even easier to get married.
Period.
So I think that's where I want to be a better advocate for because I no longer put my private life on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I no longer do that. Mm-hmm. For many reasons. It's just like I want things to be what it is. And I don't want to force things. I don't want to be embarrassed because it didn't work out. I just want to allow. When I put my man on Instagram, that's my husband. I'm popping out like Issa. Right. And if you're what is it? Work for the FBI and you're an inspector and you want to put pieces together, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But me fully just having these vacation moments, we're going to wait. So I trust God. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm ready. Yeah. I'm just in a space where it's like, okay, Nathalie, let's not focus just on this now. Let's get you together.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to buy more properties. I'm in a season where it's like, okay, are you working just to make money? are you working to contribute wealth to your legacy and your family? So I'm excited to like bring what I have to the table to my husband. I'm like, listen, hubby, like we have this, we have this, we have this.
Yes.
Like I just want that for us, you know, and I want more women to feel like that. I feel like the narrative is women want a man for this. No, we do. Listen, you want your man to be a man. Let's get that. That's a spinoff conversation.
Provision is important.
You get what I'm saying? I want you to be that leader. I want you to be ambitious. All that. I want you to honor God. But I also know I can bring a lot to the table too.
And do.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's just where I'm at right now.
I love that. And you know what? You brought something up for me because I was having this conversation with a guy and he was like, oh yeah, like I'm super private, whatever. And I was like, wow, I feel like we live in a society where everyone wants to be all public so fast. Like, why are you not putting me on your Instagram? Why are you not holding
I used to be
my
like
hand
that
in public? Why are you not, you know, you're out with your boys and now you acting different? Like, keep something. It's like a baby in an incubator.
Right.
Everybody can't touch your baby.
Right.
Make sure, let it get to a toddler first. You know, all of that outside, everything, outside influence, outside germs, outside whatever, right? And in a relationship that translates to outside talk. People that are now going to start shooting their shot even harder at your person that never would have even looked at your person.
But check this out though. And this, we have to do a part 2 because here's the deal. Imagine living in a world where majority of your friends are not married. But you desire to be married. Imagine living in a world where majority of people, just in general, and let's not just put friends, majority is like you know, children and it's okay. And I love moms and I love all that. Be divorced, all that, life after divorce, life after child, whatever. I get that. But that doesn't have to be my story.
Period.
So when you are conversing with someone that doesn't have that experience, we have to watch that. Because I'm asking for your advice from a new, fresh relationship that has no type of damage or any type of like trauma to it. And I believe, and I can play, I'm taking responsibility. In my past, I have asked a lot of advice to others that didn't have success in the area that I want, right? So that's where I'm at now. It's like between therapy, you know, and like really talking to you that are married and they're happy. You know, like I love that. And even like, because I believe in love and I believe in longevity in love. And I know that can happen for us. So I believe we're going to, come on, touch and agree.
Touch and agree.
Touch and agree.
Yes. Hey, husband.
Hey, hubby.
I miss you. Already.
I'm just here. Hey, hubby, I'm just here with Sarah.
Hey, hi. You're going to be great friends with my husband. You know, like husbands together, girlfriends together.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's the energy that I desire.
Okay, so we got to switch gears again. And I'm just so excited about this whole thing. We have a portion of the show where we talk about it's giving versus it's giving. So it's giving something positive versus something negative based on a question that I asked. These are really hard. Okay, you meet a guy and it is an absolute whirlwind, excitement, love story. Like it is passionate, it is romantic, it is everything that you ever wanted. It's only been 30 days and then he reveals he has 4 children. It's giving, oh my God, I love you, but you are just not the one. Or it's giving, I've always wanted to be a mom.
It's giving, I always want to be a mom. 4 kids is not like, his life before me has nothing, like we can work through it. Here's the deal.
Does age matter?
Does age matter?
Yeah, what if they're like 2, 4, 5, and 7?
So we're going to have a conversation. So let's talk. Did he just tell me this after the fact? Because if you led and you
30 days in.
Why didn't you tell me at the beginning?
I got questions too.
Yeah, or he's used to being judged by women.
Yes.
And we're going to have a conversation because he might have some trauma in his deal. And have you been in therapy? That's my question. Like 4 kids, how many different baby moms? Like, and then where you are right now? Because maybe you did this when you were like 5 years ago.
No, he's got a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old,
for the 2-year-old,
a 5-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Is it 2, 4, and 5 and 7 without by the same woman? You don't know.
Let's say 2 women. I'm making it up. I don't know. We on the fly right now. There's 2 of them. Let's say you got 2 baby mamas.
The 2 and the 4, why did y'all break up?
Yeah.
I need facts. I'm sorry.
Because I need to meet the mama. I need to meet both moms.
I want to meet the mom, but not for, in 30 days in, is like, it's giving like, tell me a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
And I want to know more
but I
because
do want to. Before anything gets serious.
Oh,
and
no,
I'm
like-
claimed, I need to meet
you
you
can
both.
get on your knee, and I'm like, no, because we got to get to the backstory behind this.
Yeah, because
So, but-
there's three sides there.
But I feel like there's this thing going around, like where it's like, oh, if a man has kids, but I know a lot of women that have children and they're happily married now. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit more I need from that story. But it's giving. I'll give it a chance. But I need to know. We're going to give it a chance of digging. I'm digging. I'm shoveling.
digging over
I'm
here.
going. I'm googling.
I got questions.
Where's the mama live?
Where she live?
Does she live with you?
Oh, what if she did?
No. Hard no.
Okay. That brings us to the next question.
Sarah is. Woo.
Oh, and we got to get your type in case your husband is currently watching
Oh,
this podcast.
what is going
I'm
on?
just saying, we got to get your type. He might, the young
Oh,
gentleman
God.
might come to a gentleman call.
Ah.
Okay, so next question.
Yeah, you are funny.
I love too. That's what it is.
Okay.
Okay. So you meet a man, you fall, same thing, whirlwind love, romantic, passionate. It has been 90 days, and this man has just now revealed to you that he has 2 children, but his baby's mother still lives in the house. His son's mother still lives in the house. His son and his daughter's mother still lives in the house, but they are 3 and 6. So the only reason why they still live together is because he's trying to hold strong for the family. It's giving, you know what? It's fine. I get you 50-50, so you don't have to be with your kids all the time. I trust you. I love you. I love what we've built. Or it's giving, there's too many men out here to deal with this drama.
It's giving, like, you're a really nice guy, but I really think that you should sort whatever out before you date women. Personally, that's not really what I'm into.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed our 90 days. Like, it was really fun, but I'm okay. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing that. First of all, that's a whole nother podcast. I've been through situations where I'll find things out, like, after the fact.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good because, you're into the person and like, oh, like another blow. So telling my younger self what I know now, like, no, like, you weren't honest. And it's okay. I'm not desperate. And of course, you were so nice, but you gave me hope for the next man that will be just as nice.
Forthright.
Yeah.
And nice.
He's cool.
Okay.
About that situation. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Like, and then why? Like, you need to figure out why you have not got this woman another house or a place with your children. Why y'all in the same bed together? Oh no. I mean, I'm just not, even if she lived in the basement, it's not okay. Like,
Okay.
that means that let me give you some time to go
Yeah.
to work and do your thing,
Yes.
do your big one, and give your child's mother a house or give your child's mom a place or subsidize some rent, whatever. Like, but don't tell me that.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. It's like, it's
There's
giving no.
maybe some women will like that, but for me personally, my mental health is everything right now, and I just can't disrupt it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You play too much.
This is the final It's Giving question.
No, she's like,
Okay, the final question is
what's wrong with her? Like,
okay. So you meet a guy. And he really wants to bring you on a beautiful first date. So he finds a beautiful 5-star restaurant. You are a beautiful woman. You project yourself as you are, empowered, successful, loving, kind, compassionate, all these great things. So he's like, I'm going to do it big. He brings you to the nice restaurant. And for dinner, from the server, he requests a filet mignon.
What?
It's giving. Is this his first time at a restaurant? I will never see this man again. Or it's giving, wow, he really went out of his way to try to do this big for me.
I like that. So, no, because I know. No, so this is the thing. Like, I've dated, like, I've dated or been with guys that probably don't have the same background as me, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like two different walks of life can work. He didn't know. So people have pronounced all types of words wrong, and I think I've worked on that. Sarah, So, okay, give me an example. The guy is successful in his own right. He works hard. He's a go-getter or whatever it is,
Why
right?
did he order a filet mignon?
He didn't know.
Never? He's never ordered a
But
filet
his
mignon.
mom and dad never took him to places like
At
that.
40-something?
You didn't say the age, but here's the deal. Even at 40-something, maybe the women that he was talking to before you wasn't that type of woman.
So you see, I think for me, that's my issue. You can't go from that woman to a me.
Why?
There's too much space in between.
No, but what if he wants a therapy? What if he's in a space where he knows what he deserves and he realizes?
So you haven't gone out for steaks with your boys in the meantime?
Maybe he wasn't eating steak before. Maybe he all of a sudden starts saying, you know what? I want the fine things in life. I know guys that don't dress in designer, that got a bag, right?
Oh,
but here's the deal.
sure.
But they say Balenciaga wrong. Like, you get what I'm
How
saying?
do you say Balenciaga wrong?
I'm leaving. I'm leaving her. No, I'm not doing this with you. I know what type of girl you are. I'm going to call you now and laugh. Now I see. Listen,
Girl,
you're so.
I got questions.
But Sarah, there's a lot of amazing men in this world.
I totally agree. But
they,
you can't. I personally don't want to be the first woman. I want to be like the 10th. No,
I don't want to be the 10th.
I want to be like
no.
the 5th, the 6th.
I don't want to be the 10th.
Because this is the thing. If you date a woman that's never been to a nice restaurant, if you've never brought a woman to a nice restaurant, she probably, and look, this is the thing. I eat salads and smoothies. I live off of salads and smoothies. I'm still going to nice restaurants. And I look like a child because I order a salad and french fries, right? Now, to be fair, they're still bringing me to nice restaurants because they want to eat something nice, not because it's even about me.
But what if he knows how to cook well?
But wait. So let's say I'm your first person that you've ever brought to. It's like, what is the standard for you?
But what if the girl,
wait. Then now let's say the standard changed. So now you have a higher expectation for self. I don't want to be the learning curve. I don't think I personally have look, I just went through an experience where I tried to take on,
she got it on therapy.
I tried to take
on. You got to talk to your therapist about
I learned it. This is what I learned. I'm a fixer. I am a fixer.
But how does that do with the restaurant though? Because I'm gonna ask you a question. Okay, let me give you an example.
Maybe because
I worked in the club life for so long, I know guys that will spend $10,000 with me, $8,000 a night, right?
Yeah.
And they are not the guys that will go to the fine dining restaurants.
Okay.
So they're
why
talking.
are you trying to do
check
something
this out.
fresh now?
So check this out.
Yeah.
You attract where you are. So if you were talking to a woman that just wants a Chanel bag or just wants a Birkin bag, but she doesn't expose you to anything different, even when you guys went to all these countries, you know, the stamps are being stamped up on the passport.
Passport is cute,
but
it is full.
A woman, he never has been exposed to a woman that can help add value to his life.
I don't want to be the first.
Yeah, I guess it's perspective.
It's too much of a growth curve that I personally.
But what if he's a good guy?
He's probably a great guy.
But what I don't agree.
I feel like, okay, maybe I'm being hard.
You're being hard, sis.
I feel like in an experience that I had, I chose a person that I knew had a growth curve. And I'm not even talking financially, he was great, you know, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally was not great.
So, but that's different though.
But had a good heart overall.
But I know a guy that can blow a bag on me on restaurants and take me around the world. I know guys that can do that and still they lack spiritual maturity.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't think it's judged on the food part. I feel like if you met a guy, I know you, you would even go to a restaurant with a guy that did not exhibit a quality of character and integrity. For him to get you to that restaurant, you probably would never been there. So he gets to the restaurant. He's doing his big one. He's moving around. Y'all been on the phone a few times.
Yes.
It's cool.
Yes.
You get to the restaurant and you realize that there's some things that he just isn't knowledgeable about. I don't feel like that's a hard no.
Okay, when we give it this much context, I might agree with you. But I'm just saying what I am sure on, what I'm certain on, I don't ever want to be the first woman with high standard. And I'm not talking about just where we eat. I'm saying there are things that I do for me because I love me.
Yeah.
I work out 5 days a week because I love me. I eat clean for longevity. I listen to personal development daily because I always want to evolve. I have a real relationship with God because I know how important that is. Like, I'm not doing that for a man. Now, it benefits a man when we are in partnership, however, or companionship. However, I don't want to be the first woman where I expect more than a Chanel or a Birkin bag. I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
So I guess for me in my brain, and this is us giving things
meaning,
right? I gave it the meaning of you probably are trying. And I guess I also would say shout out to the men that are trying to do new things.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know. For me, the guys that have already been doing this for so long, I feel like they have more trauma than the new guy that is like experiences life and he's like excited and like, so the guy that went to Europe 10 times and he's like, yeah, we're gonna go to Europe and like, have you ever had this right? Like, bro, I might not have been to the Maldives yet, but I could if I wanted to. So I haven't.
You haven't really?
But I could if I want to. It's not something that I don't want to go right now. Yes, I feel like if a guy takes me like, oh, we're going to go to the Maldives or we're going to Fiji, thank you for this experience. But just because it's my first time doesn't mean anything outside of the norm. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like because I have experienced both sides of the spectrum, I feel like there's some super dope men out here that's being overlooked. I really do feel like that. And I also feel like there's men, no, really, we're going to talk, because there are also guys that like are great guys, but they keep dealing with these women that have these expectations
that are making them traumatized.
They're making them traumatized, but also these women are not even doing this for themselves.
Bar.
Like, so here's the deal. You want this man, I'm not saying you, but I know that you want this man to do all these different things for you, but you don't buy yourself a Chanel bag.
Period.
You don't buy yourself real estate.
Period.
You don't buy yourself land.
Period.
Your credit's not good. And I love women. But I feel like there's this situation right now on the internet where everyone's giving this list of what they want in a man or what they want in a woman. But what are you doing for yourself?
Yeah, there's no accountability. I would agree with that.
So that's where I feel like there's a little bit of trauma that's going on in our dating lives.
Yeah.
Because there are great guys out here, but they keep bumping into these type of women. Or there are great women out here that keep bumping into these type of guys.
Yeah.
Because I can talk to a guy that tells me, yes, I'll fly you here and I've been on several private jets.
Period.
What else can we talk about?
Right.
So you're so busy telling me all these experiences you want me to have, but how's your heart?
Right. What's your
character? How is your with God? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, can you love me properly?
Can you love me properly?
Do you have it in you?
Are you emotionally regulated enough to understand what we're asking for?
That's where that's where I'm at right now. Because I feel like all the other fluff, like, okay, cool, you could do this, that, and the third for me, but like, tell me some more stuff.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you don't have this specific thing, is it like a no?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. So for me, and I say this all the time, hey husband, in case this is the first episode of mine that you're currently hearing, my list, okay, what I need from you, because you're my husband, is safety, security, respect, emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, openness, and honesty. That's it. That is my list. It's a feeling. I'm not after a type. But if you were to say, because you never know, your husband could be watching the show right now and seeing this, hey, future Nathalie's husband. If you were to say, what is your type? What is that?
So my type, you have to have a relation with God. Yes. Like I know to take me to be my rib. Well, for me to be your rib and for us to be these partners and be equally yoked, I don't need you to be falling on the floor every day, but I do need you to have a relationship with God. I need you to know where your help comes from because life gets tough and I need us to be able to life together.
Yeah.
The second thing is I need you to have ambition.
Very important.
Right? And the reason being is that if you simply don't want anything in life and you're not excited about anything, I might trigger you because I'm excited. I'm really excited about life. I'm always like excited about something.
Yeah.
Like the next thing, confidence. I need you to be confident because like I'm a very submissive type of woman. Like I like
to follow a lead.
Yeah, like I'm just a lover girl. Like I do all that, cook, clean, whatever. And it's like I want you to be confident in who you are and where we're going. Like I want to see my man for where he's going. I want you to believe that I see you. I don't want you to say, well, you got all these other guys. And like, I don't want you to keep saying that to me. I want you to know, like, you got me, we got each other, and that's where we're going.
We got us.
Right? I love a man with great hygiene. Like I love a great hygiene man. I love you to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I love for you to like care about the self-care aspects of life. You know, I'm not saying you to just overly do it because I do not like a man that's just taking selfies all day and just into themselves in the mirror all day. That's not my thing. But take care of yourself, right? Like, go to the doctor, go to the dentist. Are you working out? Like, what are we doing, right? And if you're not totally in shape, are you open to getting into shape, right? Like, because there's some times where you know how it is. They say the get money gut, but no, let's put our health first. I want my man to be around.
Period.
You know, of course, I would love for you to be in a space where you're striving towards financial freedom. I feel like the economy has changed so much and our needs have changed so much. But I do feel like when you're dating, when you are empty, is really challenging because now you're showing up as your representative and then you're trying to impress me when in reality, I want you to be cool with yourself. Like, I think that a lot of people are chasing this like, they want to be a trillionaire, millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is. But do you pay your bills on time? Ooh. Do you have extra income? Do you have are you working on yourself? Because that's what I'm doing. You don't have to be perfect, but can we be working on ourselves?
Yeah.
And then for me, that's not in order. But for me, I love communication. I love love, and I love experiences. Like, I feel like I don't want a man to judge me off of social media. I want you to take the time to get to know me, and I want you to figure out what is it like that. Like, be thoughtful. You get what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
I love a thoughtful man. Like, I just love to feel like, man, like you're just so thoughtful, and I appreciate you.
Yes.
I love that. It doesn't have to always. I like nice things. I like experiences.
Yeah.
But if you know I'm going through something, or I went to speak it somewhere, like, just do something thoughtful.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I love that. And what I love is I know you're the woman that can sustain that kind of man.
Yeah.
I know that you are looking for the need to fulfill before it's expressed to you.
Yeah.
I know that you are thoughtful. I know that you're
I am those things,
ahead. Yeah, because we are detail-oriented women in the sense of what is the need.
Yeah.
Right? So I love that. We have to close up, but I have to ask you. Well, number one, we got to have you back for a part 2 because
we have to.
There's so much.
This was good,
girl. Sheesh. But really quick, I'm an avid reader, and we love Audible. Major shout out to Audible as well if you want to listen. What book has changed your life and why?
Ah, man. Okay. The book that has recently changed my life, and everyone's like, oh, I read that book before. But the book that has recently changed my life is The Woman's Bible. Put in Amazon, The Woman's Bible. That book's perspective and the stories around it has been a part of my healing journey.
I love that.
It has. Like, I've people, you go to church and stuff, you see scriptures, but the way they break it down is like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. You know, so that's great. So I like books in different categories. Yeah. Okay. When we think about money, okay. Money, I love Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That's a great book.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, Napoleon Hill.
Right? I love that. Man, I love Destiny, TV
Wait,
Jakes.
we only get one.
Okay, sorry. I just have too many.
The Woman's Bible.
Let's do The Woman's Bible.
Okay.
So I was gonna run it.
Okay.
I love reading and I love listening to Audible.
Me too. Audible, when you hear this, if you want to sponsor this show, we're open to it.
We're very open.
It's giving sponsorship.
It's giving spinoff.
It's giving spinoff.
We can read the books and talk about it.
Baby.
I'm open to it.
Doing like lives like that.
I'm open
book
to
club,
it.
Live book club.
Please.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, guys. First and foremost, Nathalie, I got to say thank you so much for coming on the show and blessing us today.
Thank you.
We heard about relationships, self-integrity, setting boundaries, relationships with self, relationship with others, both platonically and romantically, the type of women we get to be, the type of men we're calling in, the type of men that attract these types of women, all of the things, guys. So if you enjoyed today, please make sure to subscribe below, hit that little bell so you get a notification with every new piece of content that drops. And if you haven't yet, I hope that you never forget you are freaking phenomenal. Bomb.com, nothing can stop you but you, but you got to do something about it. Thank you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.